Hi, in this video I'm going to walk through the case study 6 practice exercise that we did in class today with the dog walking. Now this one gets a little bit more complicated because we're going to use the Excel tools to help us work out a few different options that we can do. I've just shrunk my screen down a bit so you can see it. And we're going to come in with the receipts. We've got the money from walking the dogs. We've got $2,000 in April, $1,000 in May, and $1,500 in June. Income from dog sitting, $100 in April, $200 in May, and $300 in June. Now we've got some total payments that they have to pay for. You've got to pay for the dog food, $500 in April, $500 in May, and $700 in June. Followed by wages for the people who are walking the dog, $600, $600, and $600. Dog toys. They go through quite a lot of dog toys, these guys. $200 in May and $500 in June. Cleaning, $700 a month. April, oops, that's $100. Let's change that. 700 and 700. Okay, now I'm going to take a minute or two to go through the formulas. We are given that she has $250 in her bank account. Now we need to work out the total receipts. So we want it to add up everything above this line. So we're going to go up here. I'm just going to move it a little bit. There is a sum button. Can't find it on here, but what we can do, instead of using the sum, we're just going to go in here and we're going to go equals sum bracket. What do we want it to add? We want it to add everything between here and here. Close the bracket, enter. So that's 2,100. Now we want to know the same thing for the total payments. So equals sum bracket everything from that total receipts down to the end of the total payments, close my bracket, enter. Okay, we've got a bank balance of $250. What is the surplus or deficit in our cash flow? So that means we want to know how much they've received minus how much they've spent and put it in that column. So we've told it that we're going to have 100. We've received $100 more than we've spent, and so our closing bank balance is going to be our opening bank balance plus the net surplus or deficit. Now if it's a deficit, it'll have a negative there and it will work it out for you. Okay, so now we've got it in April with $350 in the bank account. Okay, moving on, we're going to copy those formulas. So you can just go in here and Control C or whatever you use for copying, and then Control V, and copy the formulas across. Copy over here, copy that. Now this one, the opening bank balance. Bank balance is always the opening balance, the same as what it ended with. So put an equals in there because when we do our changes, we want it to be able to carry that across. Okay. Closing bank balance, just carry those formulas across too. Oopsies, if you make a mistake, Control Z will fix it. Okay, we're going to escape out of there. Control C, Control V. There we go. Now, that's the first one. Now we've got, this one's a little bit tricky. We're going to make a change. So I'm just going to pull my book up so you can see me do that. See this little bit here that says sheet 1? And the example you've got is called dog walking. I'm going to rename that. So if I just control click, I can go rename, and then I can go dog walking, dog walk. Okay, enter. Now I want to duplicate that sheet, so I'm going to control click, move or copy. If you're doing it in the online version, it might just say duplicate. So clicking move or copy, I want to move it to the end. And then underneath there, there's a little button saying create a copy. Want a copy, please? Thank you. And that's called dog walk 2. It's copied the exact same sheet. So our scenario on the task that you can set for the task work for today, you need to change sheet 2 and add a $500 bill for registration fees. So registration, $500 to be paid in May. And what does that do to our money? That doesn't look quite so good, does it? There's going to be some problems. So let's have a look at one of the options that we can do. Once again, I'm going to make another copy of my page. Create a copy. Notice you can also make it into a new book if you wanted to, but we're doing this for copies. So make a copy, dog walk 3, and we've got some ideas. So Kayla has decided to try these following steps. She's going to take out an overdraft. Remember, overdrafts have to be paid back at some stage. So in May, she's getting $1,000. Then she's going to, because she's got that, she's going to have to pay interest. So we're going to insert a row. So control click, insert, and we've got a new row. So we're going to put in here interest. And just $25 in June. Okay, and then we are going to look at some other things. What has she done? She's got $1,000. She's going to pay interest. Move to a cheaper brand of dog food. So we're going to change our dog food across to $400 in May. $400. Sorry, $400 in April. $400 in May. And $500 in June. Okay, put that in. Now what we need to check when we've inserted a row, we need to just check that our formula is still correct. And there's this one here, it goes from D14 all the way up to D9, so that's right. Okay. Now, she's still got a negative bank account, so the next thing she's going to try is spend less on dog toys. $200 in April and $200 in June. And now see, the beauty of the formulas is that it will automatically change for us as we go through. So there we go, we have completed that activity and we've got our 3 scenarios. So we've started with the original system, we've got what happens when she has to pay the registration, and then when we find some ways to work it out. Now what we need to do in this is highlight some cells. So if we select them and highlight them to show that we've made some changes, I'm going to put the alteration in purple, and then my suggestions of the things that I have changed, going to highlight in purple because I like purple. It's a bit hard to read though. Might change it again, make it that little light blue, much easier to read. Okay, here we go, change that to light blue. I hope that helps you understand how to do it. Thanks for watching.